Hey Leo, this is your September 2025 reading. I'm Mystica Venice, and welcome to my channel. I did a meditation on this month's energy for you in September, and I wanted to discuss some of the themes that are coming up. When I was meditating, I got working towards a goal, taking stock of what you have and where you're going, reevaluating your goals, and working together to build an empire. Work versus luxury and the balance within that, becoming the empress, knowing yourself, being comfortable in your own skin, empowered disposition, and confidence. I also was getting the beginning of a new chapter in career or an increase of wealth, secondary earnings, passive earnings, a practical approach. And now all this isn't written down. I kept having trouble doing this reading, and one of the underlying themes was that I thought there might be some emotional turmoil in relationships. um, and that's heavy, but if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't sound like you, this is a collective reading, don't make it fit. And with that, I want to just go ahead and get into the reading. I'm going to be using the Smith and Waite deck, and this is a play on the classic Rider-Waite. And in this reading, we'll be discussing love, work, and family and friends. Love, work, and finances. So we kind of cover everything. We cover all the bases here. And let's see what we have for you. Let's get right into it. We have for Leo, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, Ganesh, the destroyer of obstacles, Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, Mother Gaia, the moon, the ocean. Please be here now to give divine messages to Leo for September 2025. Just want to clear energy. So let's tune in to what the cards have to say. And I'll just give this another shuffle, and we will lay it out. Okay. Kind of the deck in 3 pieces. Okay. Got 3 cards here for love. And we have career and finances. And we have family and friends. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look here. In your love row here, I have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, this is a planning for the future. You have been planning, you've been working on plans. It talks about having the whole world in your hands, which means like gathering your resources to fulfill this plan of what may happen on distant shores here. And in your present position, I have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a very good communicator. She has a strong intellect, a strong point of view, and a quick wit. But she is a very good communicator. So that's a great place to be in love. So you were planning for the future, and now you're in a place of great communication. And then the last card you have reversed is the Nine of Wands. And this talks about this man here has been bruised in the war. You can see that he's got a bandage on his head. And he's standing there on guard. He's guarding these wands. But the battle is over. This was upside down, so this is a less intense intensity of this card. But the battle is over, but he is still guarding the wands. So it appears that Something may be coming up as far as maybe as like a trigger of a past wound or something of this nature. It could be just needing to take down the walls a bit more. Um, with this communication card, this is a perfect time to deepen a commitment and really open up to your partner. So I want to pull some clarification cards on that. I'm going to go ahead and use the Tarot de Marseille. And this is very traditional as well, as far as the drawings on the card. Let's see what we can clarify on this love section. I live on a main street in Venice Beach, and so we will sometimes hear that. But it might help with confirmations. It's also really hot today. It's like 80 degrees. I can't shut the windows. It's been a heat wave all week, so I am drinking some ice water. Okay, so let me get some clarification on this past love position. We've got the Two of Wands in the past love position. Like maybe it's that you have planned very carefully on how to get where it is that you are now. You know, you made a lot of plans. Oh, there's a couple cards coming out. You've got the Chariot. So now the Eight of Wands, right? Eight. And that's the Queen of Wands. And this is in your past position. So this talks about really having direction, having like these plans. You've been planning, you've had a lot of direction. And it was a fast-moving energy. Let's see, making plans. Very fast-moving energy to get to where you are now. And you've shown as the Queen of Wands a lot of growth, or your relationship has shown a lot of growth. You know, the Queen of the Wands is an action-centered queen. And so it appears that, like, this person, this action-centered person, has been the driving force of these plans. All right, so let's take a look. And then you've got this very good communicator card. What do you have to tell me about the Queen of Swords for Leo, September 2025? What can you tell me about the Queen of Swords for Leo in the love position? Oh, too many. It says that you've been carrying the burden, or carrying more than your share. At least the perception of this is that you've been carrying a heavy load. And it's upside down. That's why I'm holding it upside down. It's upside down. So back here you can see that there are like still people fighting back here on this card. Usually in this card there are not people fighting in the background. They're sort of walking away. But in this card there's still people fighting. So it's like it's just telling you to watch out for misunderstandings in this case. It looks like there is some turbulent times emotionally in this relationship. Like a difference of opinions. This is all swords. It looks like there may be a difference of opinions. So you've got this guy, feels like he's carrying the burden. This guy is preparing to move to calmer waters. Whether this is like because this is in the relationship row, like this could be, you know, you're both moving somewhere to calmer waters. It's something you've had a little anxiety keeping you up at night, and you need to regroup, take stock. Oh, this card is upside down. This card of just resting after a battle, meditating, and like thinking about like how to move forward. And then, like in this future position, you have this person that is still guarding himself. So maybe this argument that you've had. I'm not saying it's little. It could be small. It could be big. It's every person's situation is going to be different. But this person here does not have to have his guard up anymore after this battle. So let's see what the Nine of Wands means. Okay. So this is a bonus card, and this card, it just talks about bringing your hearts to the cemetery to start over, start something new. It kind of reminds me of some sort of apology. And the Fool. Nope, the Page of Cups. So yeah, like you've got this apology going, and the Page of Cups is like a fresh perspective on a passion. This is the beginning of a new step in that. It really seems to me like it's like you're offering this cup of love after some sort of misunderstanding. Oh, again, yeah, I was sensing a lot of heavy energy. This card, there's, it's just like you feel like somebody's getting away with something, or that you're shouldering the burden still. And it's just like a tricky time. This is what it's talking about. It's a tricky time to navigate in relationships. You're going to have to use your best discernment. Yeah. To be honest with you, like these cards kept coming up, and I redid the reading like 3 times, but these cards keep coming up, and so it looks like you're navigating a very kind of a difficult time in relationships, or some difference of opinion, because there are so many swords differing of opinion. If you would like me to do a separate love reading this month, let me know. I might be able to do that. I can do that. If enough people are interested, I would definitely do that. But moving on, I'm going to move on to your career and finances and see what we have for you there. You've got Ace of Cups as your first card, which is the beginning of a new passion. This is in the past position. So you may have been, excited about a new passion. This is what's coming up for you, because you also have Ace of Wands, and this is 2 aces. This is you are taking action on a passionate idea. And then you have the Fool. This is all very self-explanatory. He's going on the start of a brand new adventure in career and finances. Okay, let me get some cards. I guess the Ace of Cups was first. So let me see what the Ace of Cups. What is this new passion? What is this new passion? More precise. More clear. Oh. Okay. The Empress. The Emperor. So this new passion has to do with building an empire, which that actually came up in your meditation. Building a secure financial situation. This is the new passion. Building your life's dream. And then you've got the Pope, and then the Pope is temperance. And so you've had to maybe be more moderate than you have been in the past in order to make these dreams come true. And this was upside down. The Love card. And this talks about partnerships. Partnerships. So you're thinking of how to incorporate the people in your life to possibly work on this new idea. Or, maybe there's a lot of times the Love card also has to do with the business partner. Let's see what the Ace of Wands is. What is this action that you're going to be taking in career? That is way too many. What is this action in career? Tell me about the Ace of Wands. Okay. Again. I don't know why this is here. You are guarding something. You're guarding this idea. Let's keep going. Let's get more on this. Ace of Wands. Getting a lot of the same cards, so okay, but this one is new. So this talks about, like, you have this dream of a new passion. You're daydreaming about this new dream. In fact, you've fallen asleep, you're daydreaming about this new dream, but it's almost like you've forgotten about these cups here, which are full cups, and you're thinking about this other dream. Why is that? Because the moon has illuminated something, a perception for you. I think it's this passion. It's this passion, it's all encompassing. It's what you think about. The moon has highlighted this dream, and it's shown you a light on a bright new path, and that's why it's hard to stop thinking about. And then you got the Three of Wands, which is very similar to this card you got. Oh, that was in your love position, but this is planning for the future. This is your ships are coming in. You're waiting for your ships to come. You're just looking at, you're like, ships, I know they're coming. So you have trust, you have faith, and then in the final position in the future, you have the Fool in your career and finances, which it seems to me that you do embark on this new passion. And what can we get something on the Fool here? The Ace of Swords. So again, you've got this new idea. You are going down that road for this new idea. I mean, I've been getting this for a lot of my readings lately. I think with the eclipse energy, there's just so much change, and maybe that moon is something that you learned from the eclipse. It says, maybe this new idea is a labor of love, and then maybe you're worried about being left out in the cold, or, or maybe you just have to, in order to make this new dream happen, maybe you have to be a little bit more frugal than you would normally like to be. You can represent, all of that stuff. Or maybe it's you're left out in the cold because you're starting this new idea. Maybe you have to leave an organization and begin over. Start over again. What else do you have for this Fool card? I guess it's be careful about your timing with the Fool too, I would say. Everybody wants to try their dream, but just really be careful of the timing, and then you have strength. You're going to get through this. You're going to do this just fine. I was just saying you're going to have to be a little more frugal as you implement your new passionate idea in career and finances. Okay, so then... And now we're going to move on to family and friends. And you got Judgment reversed. This is a little bit less intense than Judgment, but this is in your past position. So this could mean that there just may have, maybe there's some feeling of being judged, of being perceived, of, the way people view you, or the way you're viewing people being judged by you, or vice versa. It can always be, you can always flip the cards to be vice versa. So there may be having felt judged, I mean, these people are kind of like surrendering down here. They're like, I give up. This is me. This is how I am. And then you got one of the bonus cards for your present position. And this looks to me like a mother and a child. And the mother is like helping the child, or the child is, maybe she's like pushing him out of the nest, or, they could be playing. But this is a bonus card, and it's generally about, a mother and her child. We will clarify these as well. And then you got this one upside down. You got Three of Wands again. You have a lot of recurring cards. So I feel like, obviously the love, work, finances, family, and career, they're not separate. They sometimes weave in and out of each other. But it looks like, it's just going to be like kind of a bumpy ride for the eclipse. But you are waiting for your ships to come in because you have strength and you trust. You've done the work. So let's clarify these cards and see what is happening with your family and friends. Judgment in the past position. Upside down Judgment, upside down in the past position. Wait. You have success. You have success. This is the Six of Wands. So maybe you like passed the test of judgment, or you came out unscathed, and then you got upside down the Eight of Cups. And in this one, the moon is illuminating the windy path. Didn't you just have that? Yes. So you have a lot of interconnectedness in your reading. So you've balanced your emotions. You've taken a long journey to get where you are, to find the success in family and friends. Maybe the judgment is that you went on a road that people were unsure of, but you came out successfully. And then what is this bonus card with the mother and child for Leo in the present position of family and friends? I mean, to me, this looks like you're caring for somebody in your family. That was too many. You're caring for somebody, child. Oh, okay. The Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is very helpful. He's practical and grounded. This is in your present position. Let's keep going. Can you tell me more about this Page of Pentacles and this helpful mother and child leaving the nest? Oh, okay. You got the Queen of Wands again. This is you. You're intelligent, quick-witted. You can cut through drama. I wanted to say the BS. You don't take any ish. The other two are, let me see what we have. Oh, what was that one? The Bachelor. Yeah, I mean, they have slightly different names. I mean, I believe this is the Magician. Yeah, this is a Magician. So you have the ability to transmute this energy. You have everything you need, as above, so below, and all of the four elements on your side. But it appears that you're a bit heartbroken about something. Again, with the cups, like you're looking at your split cups and not looking at the full cups. So there just might be like a hard transition in friends and family, and like kind of wanting a more wanting a more celebratory period, coming out of a rough period. But you are the magician, and you have big plans for the future. Let's see what the future holds with the Three of Wands. What ships are you waiting for? What are these ships that you're waiting for? The Two of Cups. Waiting for a partner. Two of Cups talks about partnerships. It can also mean love. Talks about partnerships. Maybe you're waiting for the right partner. Didn't we say that? Yeah, I think earlier on we were talking about how you may be waiting for a partner or working with a partner in your career. Oh, this isn't in your friends and family. You're waiting for the balance to be restored and to people to hold up their end of the bargain. Maybe you're pulling more than your share. The Star. This talks about in the future becoming more healed after a difficult journey. So, all this heaviness is going on, and this happens. This is a monthly reading. This isn't like a yearly reading. But it says you're going to come out of the month okay here, and you're going to take the time to heal and rebalance and to give back to the earth and to yourself, to give back to yourself. I think that's pretty perfect. Why don't we go with let's do an enchanted forest. Purity, flow. So the unicorn is not about like becoming pure. It's about being pure of intention, having pure intentions. Coming from a place of love. And the meandering path, flow. Flow talks about obviously being in flow, but to move through these roadblocks with grace and ease. Whether it becomes with your relationships, or anything that life throws your way, you want to come at it with a pure heart and a flow, like a pure intention, and to just let it ride. Sometimes things have to happen in their own way, and it's easy to want to make sure the flow isn't going it's all over the place where you don't want it to go. But sometimes flow means like literally to just let things happen and be the unicorn. Sometimes things go where they're meant to go, and this is something to meditate on too. If you're having a rough time, like I would definitely think about how can I not put up so many roadblocks and be in flow this month, and to be using my pure intentions That's all I have for you this month. Thank you very much, Leo.